In our daily life, we see many relations between the persons. That is, relation between mother and son, or relation between mother and daughter, and relation between brothers and sisters, etc. Also, we have a relation between us, though we are not from the same family. That is, we can define the relation between us, that is a teacher and student relation. All these relations have their own meaning and significance. Like that, in mathematics also, we can define many relations. For example, 3 is a factor of 9. The area of the square is side square. Triangle ABC is similar to triangle DEF. In every relation, there is a pair of objects in a particular order. Let us observe the first statement, that is 3 is a factor of 9, which is true. Let us interchange the positions of 3 and 9. Then you will get 9 is a factor of 3, which is false. So students, here when you interchange the positions of these two objects, you are getting that different meaning. That's why when you define the relation between any two objects, we must give the importance to the order between the objects. This pair of objects is called an ordered pair. So students, an ordered pair can be defined as a pair of objects or elements put in a particular order, and the ordered pair of the elements A and B is denoted by ordered pair AB. And also, from this discussion, we can say that ordered pair AB is not equal to ordered pair BA. Now we are going to discuss in which situation we use these ordered pairs and how we get these ordered pairs. Let us see now. For this, we are going to define a new operation between the sets, that is Cartesian product or cross product of two sets. The Cartesian product of two sets A and B is defined as the set of all the ordered pairs x, y, where x belongs to set A and y belongs to set B. The Cartesian product of two sets A and B is denoted by A cross B. So, A cross B is described in the set below form as set of all the ordered pairs x, y such that x belongs to set A and y belongs to set B. If you want to define the Cartesian product between B and A in this order, that is denoted by B cross A, we can describe the Cartesian product B cross A as set of all the ordered pairs x, y such that x belongs to set B and y belongs to set A. Now let us take one example. A is equal to set of 1, 2, 3 and B is equal to set of 4, 5. Now let us define the operation A cross B. By the definition, A cross B can be taken as set of 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 4, 2, 5, 3, 4, 3, 5. It means here we have taken all the possible ordered pairs, taking the first coordinates from first set A and the second coordinates from second set B. This is A cross B. Now let us find B cross A. For this, first elements are taken from B and the second elements are taken from A. So B cross A can be taken as set of ordered pairs 4, 1, 4, 2, 4, 3. 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3. After finding the Cartesian products A cross B and B cross A, we can observe that the elements which belong to A cross B may not belong to B cross A. So from this we can say that A cross B is not equal to B cross A. And also we observe that A cross B has 6 elements and B cross A has also 6 elements. That is nothing but 2 into 3 or 3 into 2. That is n of A into n of B. So we can say that A cross B is not equal to B cross A, but number of elements in A cross B and the number of elements in B cross A are equal. That is n of A cross B is equal to n of B cross A, nothing but n of A into n of B. And also we can represent the Cartesian product of two sets A and B in 3 different ways. That is arrow diagram, tree diagram and a graphical representation. First let us see how we can represent the Cartesian product in arrow diagram. For this, let us take the previous example, that is A is equal to set of 1, 2, 3 and B is equal to set of 4, 5. To represent A cross B in arrow diagram, first we take 2 circles to represent the sets A and B. Now A contains elements 1, 2, 3 and B contains the elements 4, 5. Now let us make the possible order pairs, nothing but possible relations. So 1 is assigned to 4 and also 1 can be assigned to 5. 2 can be assigned to 4, 2 can be assigned to 5, 3 can be assigned to 4 and also 3 is related to 5. So this type of representation is called arrow diagram. So from this we can see all the possible relations between the elements of A and elements of B. So that is A cross B is equal to 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 4, 2, 5 and 3, 4, 3, 5. This is the cross product of A and B, that is A cross B in arrow diagram. Let us see the next 2 representations also, that is tree diagram and graphical representation. To describe A cross B in tree diagram, first we write all the elements of set A, that is 1, 2 and 3. After that we write all the elements of the set B against each and every element of the set A, which means against the first element 1 we have to write all the elements of B, that is 4 and 5. Against 2, 4 and 5. Against 3 also we have to write 4 and 5. Now let us make the pairs, that is 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 4, 2, 5 and 3, 4, 3, 5. Students, we can see all the possible ordered pairs of numbers taking first element from the set A and its second element from the set B, that is set of all the ordered pairs 1, 4, 1, 5, 2, 4, 2, 5 and 3, 4, 3, 5. This is the Cartesian product of A cross B in tree diagram. For the graphical representation of A cross B, first let us draw the coordinate plane by drawing x-axis and y-axis. Now let us plot the points which are represented by the ordered pairs of the Cartesian product A cross B. That is, the first ordered pair is 1, 4. Here you see this is the point represented by the ordered pair 1, 4. Next 1, 5. This is the point represented by 2, 4. And this is the point represented by 2, 5. This is the point by ordered pair 3, 4 and it is the point by ordered pair 3, 5. So students, this is the area where we can get all the possible ordered pairs. That is 1 4 1 5 2 4 2 5, ordered pair 3 4 3 5. So this is the graphical representation of the Cartesian product A cross B. Okay students, so far we have discussed the Cartesian product of two sets. Suppose you want to find the Cartesian product of three sets or four sets or five sets. How to define? Now let us make it generalized. First let us see the definition of the Cartesian product of n sets. So here we can define the Cartesian product of n sets as follows. If A1, A2, A3 and so on an are n sets, then the set of all possible ordered n tuples A1, A2, A3 and so on an, where first element A1 belongs to set A1, second element A2 belongs to second set A2 and so on. Nth element An belongs to nth set is defined as the Cartesian product of the sets A1, A2, A3 and so on an. It is denoted by A1 cross, A2 cross, A3 cross and so on cross an. Now, this Cartesian product can be described in the set builder form as set of ordered n tuples A1, A2, A3 and so on an such that AI belongs to capital AI, where 1 is less than or equal to I is less than or equal to n. So like this we can define the Cartesian product of any finite number of sets. Now let us find the Cartesian product of three sets A, B and C. For that, let us take A is equal to set of 1, B is equal to set of 2, 3 and C is equal to set of 4, 5, 6. Now let us find A cross B cross C, that is set of ordered triplet 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 6, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3, 5, 1, 3, 6. This is the Cartesian product A cross B cross C. Like this we can find the Cartesian product of any finite number of sets. Now let us find the subsets of the Cartesian product A cross B. For this, let us take one example. A is equal to set of 2, 5 and B is equal to set of 6. Now what is A cross B in this case? Set of ordered pair 2, 6 and ordered pair 5, 6. There are two elements in the Cartesian product A cross B. So n of A cross B is equal to 2 elements. So n of A cross B is equal to 2. We know that if the given set has n elements in it, then it can have 2 power n subsets. So in this case, as A cross B has 2 elements, it must have 2 square subsets, that is 4 subsets. Let us see what they are. They are set of ordered pair 2, 6, set of ordered pair 5, 6 and also null set is a subset of every set. So 5 can be taken as one of the subsets and every set is a subset of itself. That is A cross B is a subset of itself. So like this we can get 4 subsets. Now let us make it generalized. If A has m elements and B has n elements, then A cross B has m into n, that is mn elements. So in this case, A cross B has 2 power mn subsets. This is the formula for the number of subsets of the given Cartesian product. Now let us discuss some important points related to the Cartesian product of two sets. Of these, the first one is ordered pair AB is not equal to ordered pair BA. Second one is if ordered pair AB is equal to ordered pair CD, then the corresponding first elements are equal and also the corresponding second elements are equal. That is, A is equal to C and B is equal to D. Third one is if A is any set, then A cross phi is equal to phi cross A gives phi, that is null set. Fourth one is if one of the sets A and B is infinite, then both the sets A cross B and B cross A are infinite. If A, B and C are any three sets, then A cross B union C is equal to A cross B union A cross C. This is known as distributive law. If you observe this law, we can say that Cartesian product distributes over the union of the sets, and in the same way Cartesian product distributes over intersection. That is, A cross of B intersection C is equal to A cross B intersection A cross C, and also A cross of B minus C is equal to A cross B minus A cross C. The next one is if A and B are any two non-empty sets, then A cross B is equal to B cross A by implies that A is equal to B, which means actually the Cartesian product of two sets is not commutative, that is A cross B is not equal to B cross A. If in any case, if A cross B and B cross A are equal, we can conclude that those two sets must be equal and vice versa. And the next one is for any four sets A, B, C and D, we can say that A cross B intersection C cross D is equal to A intersection C cross B intersection D. Based on this result, we can make one statement. If A and B are two non-empty sets with n elements in common, then we can say that A cross B and B cross A have n square elements in common. Children, the term relation plays a very important role in mathematics because to solve any problem in mathematics, first of all, we have to establish the relation between the unknown quantities given in the problem. If not, we can't solve the problem. For this, let us see the situation. Now, there are two objects, pen and pencil. Here, the cost of pen is rupees 10. Can you find the cost of pencil? Not possible, because there is no relation between cost of pen and cost of pencil. Without the relation between cost of pen and cost of pencil, we can't solve this problem. Now, I am giving the situation in another manner. If the cost of pen is 10 rupees and the total cost of pen and pencil is 15 rupees. Now find the cost of pencil. It is very easy to find because we have a relation between the cost of pen and cost of pencil. That is, cost of pen plus cost of pencil is equal to 15. Now, with the help of this relation, we can easily find the cost of pencil. That is, cost of pencil is rupees 5. So, as you know the relation between pen and pencil, cost of pen and pencil, we can easily solve the problem. Like that, without the relation between the unknown quantities in the given problem, we can't solve it. That's why it is very important for us to establish the relation between unknown quantities in the given problem. Now children, we are going to learn how the relation in mathematics is defined. Already we have learned that we use the ordered pair of two elements when those two elements are related. So children, a relation is defined as a set of ordered pairs. Conversely, any set of ordered pairs is defined as a relation. Generally, we use the capital letter R to denote a relation. And also, if any two elements A and B are in the relation capital R, we denote the relation between A and B as follows. A is in the relation R to B, or ordered pair AB belongs to R. If there is no relation between A and B in the relation R, then we denote it as ordered pair AB does not belong to R. Now let us define the term, the formula of the relation. The property that connects the coordinates of every ordered pair in a relation is defined as the formula of the relation. Let us see one example. R is equal to set of 1 1, 4 2, 9 3, 16 4, 25 5. In this relation, we can observe that in each ordered pair, first coordinate is the square of the second coordinate. That is, x is a square of y. So, is a square of is taken as the property of the relation, which is called the formula of the relation. After the term formula of the relation, let us define the domain and the range of the relation. The set of first coordinates of all the ordered pairs in the given relation is defined as the domain of the relation, and the set of second coordinates of all the ordered pairs in the given relation is defined as the range of the relation. Now, taking the previous example, that is R is equal to set of 1 1, 4 2, 9 3, 16 4, 25 5. Let us write domain and range. What is the domain of this relation R? Already we have seen that the set of all the first coordinates. So, domain of R is equal to set of 1, 4, 9, 16, 25. And what about the range? Range of R is equal to, of course here in this case, set of all the second coordinates. What are the second coordinates? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are the second coordinates. So it is taken as the range of the relation R. So like this, we can define domain and the range of the given relation R. My dear students, let us see another definition of a relation. If A and B are any two sets, then any subset of A cross B is defined as a relation from the set A into set B. That is, R is a relation from a set A into set B if and only if R is subset of A cross B. Let us see one example. R is a relation from the set A into set B defined by the property is A half-half, where A is equal to set of 1, 3, 5 and B is equal to set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let us show this relation through the arrow diagram like this. Here in this relation R, the element 1 of A is half of 2 So 1 is assigned to 2 and the element 3 of A is half of 6. So 3 is related to 6 and 5 is a half of 10, but 10 is not there in the set B. So the element 5 of A is left without pairing. Now for this relation R, let us write domain and range. Now domain of R is equal to set of all the elements of the set A which are paired, that is set of 1 comma 3. Clearly the set of 1 comma 3 is a subset of the set A. So in this relation R, domain of R is subset of A. And let us write range of the relation R. It is nothing but set of all the images. Here, what are the images? Images are the elements in the second set of the relation R which are paired. They are 2 and 6. 2 is the image of 1 and element 6 is the image of 3. So, in this case, range of R is equal to set of 2 comma 6. It is very clear that it is a subset of second set B. So, range of the relation R is subset of the second set B. Inverse relation. If R is a relation from the set A into set B, then the relation obtained by interchanging the first and second coordinates of all the ordered pairs of the given relation R is called an inverse relation of R. The inverse of the relation R is denoted by R raised to the power minus 1, but it is read as R inverse. Now let us see one example. R is equal to set of ordered pair 1 2, 3 6, 4 8, 7 14. Now let us write its inverse, that is R inverse. It is nothing but set of the ordered pairs 2 1, 6 3, 8 4 and 14 7. Here, to get the inverse relation, we are interchanging the first and second coordinates of each ordered pair of the relation. So, we can see that if R is a relation from the set A into set B, then its inverse relation, that is R inverse, is a relation from set B into set A. That is, R is subset of A cross B if and only if R inverse is subset of B cross A. From the above discussion, we can write the inverse relation R inverse in the set builder form as set of ordered pair Yx such that ordered pair xy belongs to relation R. So from this we can say that domain of R inverse will be equal to range of the relation R, and range of R inverse is equal to domain of the relation R.